If you're raising money for your startup, most founders believe investors are evaluating the idea, the market, the traction, the pitch. But experienced investors often notice something else first. They notice your architecture. My name is Anastasia. I work with founders at the idea and MVP stage. My role is simple. I help founders make the right product decisions before they start building. Because architecture problems almost never start with code, they start with decisions. Most startup teams believe architecture is something you worry about later. First, you build fast, then, you fix things. But architecture doesn't wait. Every early decision shapes your system structure, how data flows, how permissions work, how logic connects users to actions. And when those decisions are unclear, the system quietly becomes fragile. Not because the team is inexperienced, but because the boundaries were never defined. Investors don't always say this out loud, but when they evaluate a startup, they often look for signals of architectural thinking. For example, does the product have clear system boundaries? Is the logic predictable? Is the system designed to scale or only to demo? Because architecture reveals something important. It shows how founders think. Many startups delay product decisions. They keep things flexible. They say, we'll figure it out later. But flexibility without boundaries creates complexity. Over time, the system becomes heavier, more dependencies, more fragile logic, more hidden risk. And when that happens, investors see it instantly, not in the pitch deck, but in the structure of the product itself. Architecture first thinking is different. It starts with clarity. Before building anything, founders define the core system structure, the responsibility of each component, and the boundaries of the product. Because architecture is not about tools, it's about decisions. And those decisions determine whether a product becomes scalable or collapses under its own complexity. So, if you're raising money for your startup, remember this. Investors are not only evaluating your product, they're evaluating the quality of your decisions. And those decisions are visible in your architecture. Because in the end, architecture isn't a technical detail. It's a signal of how clearly a founder thinks. If this way of thinking about products resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. I talk about MVP architecture, founder decisions, and why many startups break long before scale. And if there's a topic you'd like me to explore next, tell me in the comments. In the next video, we'll look at one of the most common mistakes founders make when building their first MVP.